What is going on, my fellow navigators, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you all how to detect fake Pokemon card products so that you're better equipped to discern between what is a real and what is a fake product. This is a problem that's been really exacerbating over the last few years, people getting scammed online or in person by fake products. So I want to give you guys a breakdown today of how you can discern those two so that you're able to make the best investing decisions. But before we get started, guys, you know what to do. Go ahead and give me a double slap attack, one for that like button, one for that subscribe button. And if you want to be notified each and every time that I drop a video, go ahead and thunder punch that notification bell so that you don't miss a single video. So as many of you probably know, there are already a lot of videos out there that can help show you how to detect fake Pokemon card products. But to my knowledge and everything that I've come across, there's not really one comprehensive video that shows you all of the different products, because it's not just booster packs, it's not just cards, it's really everything that can be faked within this hobby. And there are scam artists out there that are putting out fake products all the time in all the different areas of the Pokemon card TCG. So today what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to give you the three big products. So that's going to be booster boxes, booster packs, and individual cards. And I'm going to show you the big characteristics that I look at when I'm looking to see if a product is real or fake. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, guys. And the first thing that I want to do is just start off by giving you some immediate red flags that I see, especially if you're buying product online. This is one of the reasons why I actually prefer the in-person route of buying and selling products, because there is that tangible aspect to the product itself, and you also have the time to where you can start to look these things over. But with that being said, everything that we're going to go through here today will apply whether you're buying online or in person. But for the online route, some of the things that you want to make sure that you're looking at that will be an immediate red flag that a product is fake. One being, if the price is too good to be true, it probably is. Especially when you're purchasing more expensive products like booster boxes, especially vintage booster boxes. These are, high-end products. They're going to be expensive. So if you see, let's say, a base set unlimited booster box online going for $1,000, that should be an immediate red flag that that product is fake. There should never be a product like that on the market. Even the most inexperienced seller will still have some sort of idea of what products are going for on the open market. Most will have done their homework. So if you see something like that where just the price differential is so far off and it's so underpriced, that will be an immediate red flag that that product is fake. The next thing that you'll want to look at is if you're buying products off of sites like eBay, Mercari, places like that, if the seller is just using a stock photo, so something that they might have ripped off of Google or something like that, that should also give you a red flag that that product is fake. They should have good, high quality images and multiple images as well. This is something that I always encourage for people who are asking me about selling on eBay or online. One thing that I always recommend is include plenty of images and make sure that they're high quality. Don't take them from a distance, take them nice and close up so that the buyer can get the full detail of the product itself. And that's really the third thing here, is you just make sure that those images are of high quality. Don't use stock photos. Anytime that you see a stock photo on a listing, that again should shoot up a red flag indicating that that product is fake. And then the last big thing here is if you're purchasing online, if the product is coming from China, that should send up a red flag as well. There is a particular avenue that you can go down called Pokemon China, where you can actually get, products from China, but China is ultimately the king of bootlegging, and I found that 95% of the time, the products that are coming from China are fake or bootleg products, and just don't even go down that route. You know, if you're using some sort of third-party dealer to get your products from, try to keep them as close to your country of origin as possible. Obviously, you know, there's, you know, even on eBay, if you're in the States, a lot of the time there's products coming from Europe, you know, specifically the United Kingdom, and vice versa. If you're from the United Kingdom, a lot of times products are coming from the US. But anytime that you're seeing something come from China, that should send up an immediate red flag at the very least, and then you should do a little bit more of an investigation as to, you know, what the source of that is, you know, from that particular dealer. All right, guys, so now that we've touched on some of the immediate red flags that you know, should give you a forewarning that a product is fake, let's go ahead and jump into the big characteristics that I use to evaluate a product's legitimacy anytime that I'm considering a purchase. And this holds true for pretty much all products that you'll be purchasing. But for today's purposes, as I said before, we're going to be covering the big three, which is going to be booster boxes, booster packs, and individual cards. So to start off, we'll start with booster boxes. And there's really three main characteristics that I look at when I'm evaluating any of these products. The first one is going to be the artwork. The second is going to be the text. And then the third is going to be the packaging itself. So let's go ahead and jump on over here to the computer. And what you'll see, I've got two booster boxes pulled up here. Now this is from another video that someone else made, but I thought it gave a nice little visual side-by-side comparison. So to start off first is the artwork. What you want to do is first of all, with artwork, you want to make sure that you have a legitimate product that you can always do a side-by-side comparison with. So here on the right, you've got an XY Evolutions booster box. Obviously, this is the real one. And over here on the left is the fake. Now, for any of you that have purchased Evolutions before, in fact, I've got one right here, you'll know that this is the only artwork that is available for Evolutions. So down here, you've got the Charizard, you kind of got the blueprint on the bottom. And you'll see that here in the picture on the screen as well. So as you can tell, you've got a different type of artwork over here on the left, and that should send up another red flag right away. The next thing that we're going to go ahead and take a look at is the text. Very often with booster boxes, you'll see some kind of misspelling, you'll see a difference in fonts, or maybe even just the wrong set description as well. I've seen other booster boxes before that were coming out around the time of Pokemon Go. What it would feature is underneath the text, the Pokemon logo, it would say Pokemon Go, and then down here as well. And those were all illegitimate products. They were all fake. So that's another thing to go ahead and look at, is any kind of discrepancies when you're looking at the text. But really the main thing to look at when you're looking at booster boxes in order to evaluate their legitimacy, the biggest indication is going to be the plastic wrap. So the first thing that you're going to want to check is, how does the wrap look on the box itself? As you can see with this one here on the left, with fake products, because the majority of the time they are wrapping these products over once again, and a lot of the time what they'll do is they'll take legitimate boxes, they'll take empty boxes of other booster boxes, and then they'll rewrap it again. But very often that rewrapping results in kind of a flimsy look to it. It's loose. With all of Pokemon products, as you can see here, like with the Evolutions booster box, it's tight around the edges. There's really not a whole lot of give to it, and it's more of a saran wrap type of material. Whereas with fake products, typically it's going to be, very thin. The creases on it will be kind of sloppy. So that's one thing to keep an eye out for. The next thing, and probably the biggest thing with the wrapping, is the printing of the logo on there. So with all Pokemon products, just keep this in mind. This is a great rule of thumb to have. So with everything basically EX, Ruby, and Sapphire and beyond will all have the Pokemon logo. So you can see that right here on this booster box. As you can see here on the Evolutions booster box that I have, you can see the Pokemon Company logo printed across on the wrapping itself. And that will always be the case with almost all, and I haven't seen, I don't believe that the scammers have been able to copy that as of yet. Now they may become better at that in the future and be able to do so, but as of yet, they haven't been able to copy that on the wrapping itself. So that's a dead giveaway that it is a fake product. Now, when you're going back to WotC products, so basically everything Skyridge and before, those will all have the Wizards of the Coast print on it if it's a sealed booster box. So let me go ahead and pull up a couple different booster boxes here. And I said that all of the booster boxes from WotC would have the Wizards of the Coast label. The only one that will not will be the first edition base set booster boxes. But honestly, guys, if you are seeing first edition base set booster boxes for sale online, I would already be hesitant with that because, and especially if they're going for less than $90,000, I would be very wary of that just to begin with. Most of the first edition base set booster boxes now are being sold in high-end auction houses just because they are so rare and they are so expensive. So chances are you're probably not going to come across it online. But that is one thing to keep in mind, is that with these first edition base set booster boxes, Wizards of the Coast did not print their logo on the wrapping. So that will be the only one that should not have that logo on there. Now, as you can see here, looking at the one on the left, all other Wizards of the Coast sets that came out will have that logo on there. And to my knowledge, I don't believe there's any set Wizards of the Coast that should not have the logo on there. If you guys are familiar of any that maybe you've come across that are legitimate, that do have that on there, be sure to let me know down in the comments, because I would be interested to know. In my experience, I have never come across that. So again, guys, that is one of the biggest things that you're going to want to look at there for booster boxes, is the wrapping. It should have some kind of labeling on it. If it's Wizards of the Coast, should have Wizards of the Coast logo. If it is Pokemon Company, so everything EX, Ruby, and Sapphire and beyond up to present day, it should have Pokemon Company logo on it. All right, guys, so now that you have a good idea of what to look for with booster boxes, let's go ahead and take a look now at booster packs. Now, booster packs are arguably the most common type of Pokemon product to be a fake. And one of the reasons being is that it is pretty easy to go ahead and fake these type of products. A lot of people out there will go and they'll buy legitimate packaging or the packs itself that have already been opened and are really good at resealing it. So this is one area that you're definitely going to want to be very wary about when you're purchasing online. But I'm going to go ahead and show you step by step some of the other things that you can look at to make sure that you are purchasing a legitimate product. And again, we're going to be going over it using those same three characteristics. So that is going to be artwork, text, and packaging. In this case, the packaging is going to be the booster pack itself. So for the artwork, one of the common things that I see is either an over or an under saturation of the artwork itself. So that means that it's either going to look, highly saturated and like overly vivid, or it's going to look very washed out. And that's because essentially what they've done is they've taken a photocopy of the original, and whenever you've got a photocopy, it's going to look odd compared to a real product. So that's one thing you want to look at. Look and see if it's, if the artwork itself, if the color is just very odd to you. The other thing is that very often the alignment will be off. So maybe the picture on the pack itself will be shifted, or maybe even text on the booster pack will be shifted as well. As far as the text goes, some of the common things that you'll see with booster packs are the same things you'll see with booster boxes or with individual cards. That could include incorrect fonts, typos, and typically you'll see more of an embossed look to the text on booster packs. And again, that's because they've taken a photocopy, and if you guys have ever done photocopies before, you'll notice that where the ink on the original text is, because it's not a perfect replica of that, it will shift the ink on the text just slightly, so it will look as if it's a little more embossed on the fake. And then the last thing here, as far as the packaging goes, and as I said before, that's going to relate to the booster pack itself. Some of the things that you'll want to look out for is that fake packs often look loose or bulky. If you're looking at a real pack, Pokemon always did a great job of, you know, air sealing those packs so that they're nice and tight against the cards itself. With fake packs, they're often look loose. The cards look as if they can shift quite a bit within the pack itself. So that's definitely something to look at. Also, fake packs, the crimps that you see on the top and the bottom of the pack will often look very sloppy. They'll be at an angle, they'll be off, they won't have the deep ridges on them that you normally see with legitimate packs. You know, with Pokemon Company, those crimp lines were usually nice and even across. And we'll get into some examples here just so you guys know. But the other thing that I've found, and I don't know if this necessarily is true for everything, but I have found, and maybe you guys can help validate this as well, but in my experience, whether it's WotC booster packs or whether that is modern day booster packs, the fold on the back of the booster pack, so basically that part where you actually rip it open, will always fold to the right. I have found that on many fake booster packs that they will actually go the opposite way. Now, that's not to say all of them will be that way, but that is something that you can definitely look for to make sure that that fold on the back of the pack is actually folding to the right versus the left. So just to go ahead and give you guys like a real world example here, I've just got just a Cosmic Eclipse pack laying around. What I'm talking about, and this may appear a little bit different from your perspective than what I'm looking at, but as you can see here, this fold here, it folds to the right of the pack. So this is left, this is right, it folds to the right. What I have found on fake packs is that fold will actually go the other way. Now, that may not always be the case, like I said, but that is something to go ahead and look for, just to go ahead and legitimize that product a little bit further. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and jump back over to the screen just to go ahead and take a look at some examples. So we're just gonna go ahead and scroll down here. As you can see, we'll start off here. There's a couple fake, or there's one fake jungle pack here. So the fake one is going to be here on the right, the real one on the left. So just some of the things that I was talking about earlier, let's just go ahead and evaluate some of these packs. As you can see here, just look at the text from here to here. You can see that on this fake pack, it has that washed out look to it. And also take a look down here at the text for the trading card game. It's almost as if it's been shifted. Again, kind of having a little bit more of that embossed look to it. So that's something right off the bat that you know, you should definitely look at, and that should be, you know, a red flag right off the bat. Looking down here, again, talking about those crimps. Up here on the top, you've got the fake pack. Down here on the bottom, you've got the real one. Look at the way that the crimp on here goes down at an angle, and it just looks sloppy. It doesn't have these deep ridges like a real pack does. So again, that's definitely something to consider when you're looking at these packs. And here, it's just taking a look at the top. Again, doesn't have the deep ridges on the fake pack. It's got nice deep ridges here, and they're nice and even all the way across. And let's see. So again, Talking about that text, you can see that the top one here, very washed out. Bottom one has that legitimate Pokemon logo on it. And here's another thing. So we're talking about text and alignment before. So the fake one down here, you can see up here on the top. So the set itself is nice and even in this oval right here. So right across the center. Down here on the bottom, you can see it's shifted. So it's down near the bottom of that. And again, that's something that you'll see time and time again with fake booster packs, is that the alignment will be off. And that just comes from the photocopy, that you'll never get a perfect copy from the original. And this is taking a look at the back here. So what I was talking about before, one, again, down here on that fold, you've got nice deep crimps on the fold itself, but you can see here that it folds to the right, whereas this one folds to the left. And as I said before, this isn't a necessarily tried and true method, but to my knowledge, every booster pack that I've ever come across, whether it's vintage or whether it's modern, always folds to the right. So like I said, if you guys have any differing of opinion on that, or you've seen differently, please go ahead and let me know down in the comments. And here's another one that we can take a look at here. This is a good example of that embossed text that I was talking about. So up here on the top, you've got the legitimate product, and down here you've got the fake. And you can see, you know, looking at the Nintendo logo here, just how embossed, how bold the text is. And look at the Wizards of the Coast logo here as well. It just looks washed out. It's not, you know, it's not as clear and vivid as the Wizards of the Coast logo here on the top. So again, that would be a dead giveaway. And just kind of scrolling down here just so you guys can get, you know, better ideas. Again, very embossed. You can see that the color is kind of running out of the different energies there. So yeah, that's definitely something that should send up those red flags once again. So let's go ahead and scroll through just a few different sets here so that you guys can get an idea of some of the other WotC sets. Because if you're purchasing, you know, if you're trying to complete a collection, you're trying to get packs from each set, it'd be, you know, I think it's a good idea to go ahead and get an idea for each of those. So here you've got base set. Again, you can see, you know, these are all fake, so there's no legitimate ones on here. But just looking at the crimp up here, you know, just sloppy. They look bulky, the packs themselves. Again, down here, you can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, look how much room there is for those cards to shift in that pack. Obviously, Pokemon would never do that because they don't want the cards inside to get damaged. So they want the booster pack to be nice and tight, vacuum sealed around those cards. And just going down the list here, again, you can see lots of room for shifting. And just looking at the packs themselves, you can almost see that there is almost like print lines. And these aren't print lines like what you see in you know, cards itself that could, you know, downgrade a card, you know, based on its quality, things like that. These are coming straight from the photocopy itself, and you know, they just look washed out, and the packs honestly just look sloppy. And here's a good one right here. You can see that with this pack, it even has those jagged edges here at the top. You're not going to see that with legitimate Pokemon booster packs. So again, that is going to be a dead giveaway. But that is pretty much it for the booster packs, guys. As I said, these are probably the most commonly scammed products on the Pokemon card market. So if you're buying booster packs online or even in person for that matter, you're definitely going to want to look for some of the characteristics that we've gone over today, just to make sure that you are getting a legitimate product. All right, guys, and our last big category here is going to be individual cards. And again, we're going to be using those same 3 characteristics. We're going to be looking at the artwork, we're going to be looking at the text, and the packaging. In this case, the packaging is going to refer to the actual feel of the card, so that tangible aspect to the card itself. So as far as the artwork, some of the common things that you'll see with fake cards, is that the card itself will appear like too dark or too light, kind of similar to the way that booster packs looked over or undersaturated or washed out. You're going to find that same theme with the individual cards. So it will just look funny when compared to an actual legitimate card. The other thing is a lack of color definition. Again, it'll look slightly washed out. And then the other big thing is that the hollow patterns that you see on the fake cards, a really good indication that it's fake is that it won't have that same glitter effect that legitimate cards do. And that's because of the photocopy process. They can pull the actual pattern itself, but they can't pull that effect of the glitter itself. So that'll be a big indication that it's a fake card. And then the other thing in reference to the hollow pattern is that very often with fake cards, the hollow pattern will look a lot different. So maybe it will have stars in the hollow, or just different types of designs, whereas most commonly, especially in the Wizards of the Coast hollows, those were often the galaxy style, so they had the swirls and just that common thing that we're very accustomed to, whereas the fake cards had a lot of maybe geometric figures in it, so that'll be a common thing to see. And then also the hollow will appear in different areas that it shouldn't be, or on let's say a common or an uncommon card in the set that should not have a hollow. So that's, the hollow itself will be a good indication to determining whether it is fake or real. And then as far as the text goes, again, we're looking at the same theme here that we looked at in booster boxes and with booster packs. You're looking for typos, incorrect fonts. On the individual cards, very often the HP will either be a lot higher or lower than what the original card will have. I've seen fake cards that have attack powers of up to like 1,000 damage, things like that. So those will be, really easy things to spot out. And especially as you're going along in your journey, those will be things that you can just pick up right off the bat to know that it is a fake card. And then the last thing here, referring to the packaging, as I said before, we're talking about the feel of the card itself. The fake cards are usually very thin and they're almost translucent. If you were to hold them up to a light or a lamp, they're almost translucent because the card stock itself is just very cheap. It's very thin versus the legitimate card stock, which actually has, it's kind of like a triple layer. I believe Leonhardt actually has a video where he actually tears some fake cards and legitimate cards just to show that there is a third layer in legitimate cards, kind of between the front and the back, that makes that card stock much thicker. Whereas with the fake products, it's almost as if you're, just ripping kind of a piece of paper. There's nothing really between that front and the back layer, and so they tear very, very easily. And again, they just have a very brittle and paper feel to them. So hopefully you don't have to get to that point where you're actually tearing cards to verify whether it's legitimate or not. But if for some reason you do come across those and your last resort is to determine, you've kind of gone over everything and you're not really sure, that is a way that you can go ahead and tell, is that but when you do tear it open, those legitimate cards will have, it's almost a kind of a black stock in between there that you'll see once the card is ripped open. All right, guys, so real quick, we'll go ahead and jump back over to the computer just to take a look at some examples here. So right off the bat, we've got a Gardevoir here on the left. You've got the real card on the right. You've got the fake. So as I said before, as you can see here on the right, just referring to the artwork itself, as you can see, it's you know, it just appears way too dark versus the original. Again, you're looking for that oversaturation, too dark, too light. Those will be dead giveaways that it is a fake card. The other thing is the lack of color definition here. You know, everything just kind of blends together. And then referring to that hollow pattern, as you can see here on the left, it has that glitter effect for the legitimate card, whereas here on the photocopy, it does not have that glitter effect. And if you actually had this card in person, you would be able to tell that a lot better. So again, just referring to the artwork there, that will be a common thing. We're looking at the back of the card here. Almost 99% of the time, fake cards, they're gonna be very light on the back. I've also seen where the Pokemon logo is off center in reference to the Pokeball itself, where maybe it'll be shifted this way or this one will be shifted this way, so they're not even and congruent with the Pokeball. But in this case, you're seeing that it is washed out, it's too light in reference to the original. And then our last big category here is the feel, the quality of the card itself. Down here, we've got a Pikachu and a Dratini. So on the left, you've got the legitimate card. On the right is the fake. And as I said before, when you tear it open, you have this kind of black stock in the middle between the front and the back of the card. You guys can see that right there. Whereas with the fake, as you can see, it's just one material, and it's very thin, it's very brittle. And you know, whenever you hold these products in your hand, you know right away this does not feel right, especially when you've when you've experienced so many cards and you've felt so many cards. Legitimate Pokemon cards just have a nice thick quality feel to them, whereas these fake cards, they're just cheap, they're brittle. And you know, even looking at this card, look at how washed out it is, and you can see not only print lines going across the artwork itself, you know, in the picture here, but also going across the rest of the card. So again, that is a dead giveaway there. So again, guys, those are going to be the main things that you're going to want to look out for when you're looking at individual cards. Look at the artwork, look at the text, look at, and then also feel the card itself. You know, if you do have that opportunity, if you're buying products in person, go ahead and feel those cards out. Make sure that they do feel like a legitimate Pokemon card. So that is pretty much going to do it for today, guys. Hopefully you have found this valuable. And as I said, as we move on into the future, I honestly and unfortunately think that there's going to be more and more scammers out there, more and more people trying to take advantage of people new to the hobby. So go ahead and do me a favor, guys. Go ahead and share this video with anyone that you know that's just getting into the hobby, if you think that it would be good information for them, so that they don't go down the route of purchasing fake products, you know, with the hopes of actually getting something good and getting their hopes up, and you know, maybe even dashing their hopes of actually breaking into the hobby, whether it's just collecting or investing. I want to make sure that you guys are, you know, going about it in the right way, getting the best products, legitimate products, and ultimately enjoying your journey. With that being said, guys, that is going to do it for today. My name is PokéNav. I'm here to help you navigate the world of Pokemon one video at a time, and I will see you all in the next video.